Welcome, my amazing friends. Today, I bring you a story that will touch your heart, inspire your soul, and teach you powerful lessons about life, success, and never giving up. This is the story of a man who was not just an actor, not just a comedian. He was a legend. A man whose name is written in golden letters in the history of cinema. A man who made the whole world laugh while hiding his own tears. His name? Sir Charles Spencer Chaplin. But we all know him as Charlie Chaplin. No one, absolutely no one, can match his greatness. His work is timeless. His comedy is universal. His life is a lesson in perseverance, creativity, and the power of never giving up. Even today, decades after his time, he lives in our hearts. His movies still bring joy. His struggles still inspire. And his story, oh my friends, his story will show you that no matter how hard life gets, you must keep going. This is not just a story. This is a journey of pain, rejection, poverty, success, and immortality. Watch till the end, because this story is perfect for your English learning and will motivate you like never before. Are you ready? Let's begin. Charlie Chaplin was born in the heart of London, England, on April 16, 1889. His parents, Hannah Chaplin and Charles Chaplin Sr., were both performers in the world of music and theater. They entertained crowds, sang songs, and lived for the stage. But life had different plans for young Charlie. His father was an alcoholic, a man who drank himself into oblivion. He abandoned his family when Charlie was just a little boy. His mother, Hannah, was left alone to raise two children, Charlie and his older half-brother, Sidney. And if you think life was kind to them, you are wrong. They lived in poverty, extreme, unbearable poverty. Sometimes, there was no food on the table. Sometimes, Charlie had to go to bed hungry. Sometimes, his mother would pretend to eat, just so her children could have a little more. They moved from one small, dirty room to another. They lived in fear of being thrown out. But Charlie, he was a child, and children, no matter how hard life is, still find ways to smile. Charlie's mother, Hannah, was a talented singer and actress. She performed in theaters hoping to earn a few pennies to feed her children. Charlie loved watching her. He would sit backstage, mesmerized, dreaming of one day standing in front of an audience. But fate struck again. One terrible night, while performing in a theater, Hannah lost her voice. She could not sing. She tried, but her voice was gone. The audience shouted. They threw things at her. They wanted her off the stage. And then, something magical happened. A little boy, just 5 years old, walked onto the stage. Charlie. He picked up the microphone. He sang, he danced, and the crowd, they roared with laughter. They clapped, they cheered. That was the first time Charlie performed in front of an audience. The first time he felt the magic of making people laugh. And deep inside, he knew, this is what I was born to do. But life was cruel. After many years of being poor, hungry, and sad, Charlie's mother lost her mind. She was sent to a mental hospital. Charlie and his brother were left alone, with no family, no money, and nowhere to go. They became street children, wandering, begging, fighting for survival. Imagine this, a small boy, cold and hungry, walking the streets of London, looking through trash cans for food. That was Charlie Chaplin. But did he give up? No. Did he lose hope? Never. He kept going, because he had a dream. And, my friends, this is where his real journey begins. Charlie was just a small, hungry, and abandoned boy. He had no home, no parents to care for him, no money, and no idea where his next meal would come from. He and Sydney were forced to live in workhouses, terrible places where poor people were sent to work in exchange for food and shelter. These places were cold, cruel, and full of suffering. Charlie was just 7 years old when he first entered one of these workhouses. He was separated from Sydney and sent to another workhouse, alone. And when he finally returned to his mother, she was even sicker than before. Her mind was slipping away. Sometimes she didn't even recognize Charlie. Charlie watched as doctors dragged her to a mental hospital. He screamed. He cried. But he was powerless. She was gone. Charlie was truly alone. A boy with a dream. But even in his pain, he had something powerful inside him. Hope. He wanted to perform. To be on stage like his mother. To make people laugh. To bring joy to a world that had been so cruel to him. So he started working. He washed dishes, delivered newspapers, worked as a toy maker. But no matter what job he did, his heart was always on the stage. Then one day, he saw a group of street performers acting and making people laugh. Something inside him said, "This is it. This is my chance." So he joined them. He started performing on the streets, dancing, singing, doing small comedy acts. At first, no one noticed. But Charlie didn't give up. He kept performing, kept improving. He watched other comedians, studied their movements, their timing, their expressions, and slowly, people started noticing him. They laughed. They stopped to watch. And Charlie felt something magical. He had the power to make people happy. At the age of 14, Charlie got a huge opportunity. He was hired by a theater group called the 8 Lancashire Lads. It wasn't much, just a small part. But it was a start. He worked harder than anyone, practiced day and night. And his talent, it shined. Soon, a theater director saw him and said, "This boy is special." At 16, Charlie landed a role in the play Sherlock Holmes. He was no longer just a street performer. He was acting in real theaters, in front of big audiences. People loved him. And then, something happened that would change his life forever. Hollywood came calling. In 1910, Charlie joined a comedy company called Fred Carnot's Troupe and went on a tour of America. It was a big deal. A poor boy from London, now performing in front of American audiences. But Charlie didn't just perform. He stole the show. His expressions, his timing, his silent comedy. It was unlike anything people had seen. In a time when movies had no sound, Charlie spoke with his eyes, his body, his heart. And that's when a powerful film producer named Max Sennett noticed him. He offered Charlie a job in Hollywood. Charlie packed his bags and moved to the land of dreams. But he didn't know, this move would not just change his life, that it would change the world of cinema forever. In 1914, at the age of 25, Charlie created a character that would make him a global icon. A character with a small mustache, a bowler hat, a cane, and oversized shoes. A character who walked with a funny waddle, made people laugh without saying a word, and touched hearts everywhere. The tramp was poor, just like Charlie. He was clumsy, just like Charlie. But he was kind, brave, and full of hope, just like Charlie wanted the world to be. People loved the tramp. They laughed. They cried. They cheered. Charlie became the most famous man in the world. His silent films, like The Kid, City Lights, Modern Times, and The Great Dictator, became masterpieces. But behind the scenes, Charlie never forgot where he came from. He remembered the hunger, the loneliness, the pain of watching his mother suffer, the nights without food, the rejection, the cruelty of the world. And that's why he made films not just to entertain, but to awaken hearts. To remind people to be kind. To fight for justice. To never give up. In City Lights, he showed the power of love and sacrifice. In Modern Times, he spoke about the hardships of workers and the cruelty of machines. In The Great Dictator, he dared to stand against Hitler and fascism, with courage, with truth, and with hope. And all this without saying a word until The Great Dictator, when he finally broke his silence and gave one of the most powerful speeches in film history. But success comes with a price. Charlie became controversial. His ideas were bold. His films had messages that some people didn't want to hear. In the 1950s, during the time of political tension and fear, he was accused of being a communist. The U.S. government turned against him. He was banned from returning to America, the country that made him a star. He moved to Switzerland, heartbroken. But even in exile, Charlie kept creating, kept dreaming, kept believing in the power of art, love, and laughter. In 1972, after 20 years of being away, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences invited him back to Hollywood to honor him with a Lifetime Achievement Award. He returned, an old man now. As he walked onto the stage, the entire audience stood and clapped. For 12 minutes straight, tears rolled down his cheeks. And in that moment, the world said, "Thank you, Charlie. Thank you for the laughter. Thank you for the hope. Thank you for everything." Charlie Chaplin passed away on December 25th, 1977. But legends never die. Even today, his films are watched. His words are quoted. His life is remembered. What can we learn from Charlie Chaplin? That no matter how hard life gets, no matter how many times you fall, no matter how poor, broken, or lost you feel, if you keep going, if you believe in yourself, if you dare to dream, you can change the world. Charlie didn't have money. He didn't have support. He didn't have an easy life. But he had something more powerful: hope. And with that hope, he made the world laugh. He made the world feel. And he became a legend. My dear friends, whenever you feel like giving up, whenever the world turns its back on you, remember this little boy from London. Remember the tramp. Remember Charlie Chaplin, and remember, nothing is permanent in this world, not even our troubles. If you liked this story, do share it with someone who needs motivation today. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more such inspiring stories. Thank you for watching. Stay strong, stay hopeful, and keep smiling, just like Charlie.